Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Game of Cast. We're going to be doing predictions for the finale of Breaking Bad. Here we have Eric, Ronnie, and myself, Andrew, and we're going to just kick it off right now.
Alright, here's my breakdown. Walt is at his lowest point now. He was about to give up, and then he saw on the television Gretchen and company talking about how he didn't contribute enough, or didn't contribute at all, to this billion-dollar corporation that they own, and that made him go crazy. And the final episode is going to be the biggest bloodbath, most exciting episode we're ever going to see.
Not just according to Eric, but according to Jesse, Aaron Paul and stuff like that.
You're pulling a Gretchen on me. You're taking credit away from me.
Well,
I'm going to go crazy on you.
Well, the one thing that's interesting about that, of what I've read on other places too, is that the way to think about it is that for Walt, he's essentially built two, hyper growth or sort of billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar businesses in what he did with Gray Matter and what he's done as Heisenberg. But both times, he's sort of been, or his impact on the things has been rendered, pretty much to nil. Like with Gray Matter, although he was part of everything, they said all he was just a name or whatever, or just a color into making the color gray for the name Gray Matter, and everything else they did was without him, even though that's not the case. And for Heisenberg, all that crazy work he's done, the blue meth is still being able to be made without him, as though he were never even there, or as though he had no significance in the most powerful meth, I guess, in modern history, right? So in both times, it's almost as if he was never there, and I think that's one of his biggest problems that he has with this, or letting go.
I just want to not correct you, but disagree with you. We don't know what his contribution was to Gray Matter when it started, but all we know is that he believes that Gretchen and her husband, whose name escapes me, pushed him out and basically kicked him out and ruined his life, whereas they see it as he just left them.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to find out in this final episode what happened at Gray Matter, and we're going to see that Heisenberg wasn't just the creation of Walt's cancer, but it was always a part of him, that his ego, and something happened with regards to his ego and his pride, made him leave that company, and his twisted version of reality, as we can see him revise history now, also happened back then.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think with Tahajali and Madrigal, those two episodes where they sort of do those prequels or a previous life of what happened leading up to this, that German guy in Madrigal who electrocutes himself or whatever, and when they were cooking before in the desert, I think with the 75 minutes that we have for this final episode, they have to allude a bit more I don't think it's going to be 75 minutes of killing. This show's proven they can kill 10 people in 1 minute, right?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So we'll see. But I think that would make a lot of sense. At first, you brought up in our other conversations that he's definitely going to try to kill the Gray Matter people, and I kind of don't see that as feasible.
And I was so happy to... I wasn't right. I thought they wouldn't touch on it. But I wanted to. In the last podcast, I said, I want this to be touched on. I want this kind of, what's it called? An unended storyline part of the show to be solved. And I think they're going to solve it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it needs to be solved with death, perhaps, but...
Oh, by the way, prediction, Walt is going to kill Gretchen and husband.
I disagree.
I disagree. Is he just going to go to their house and shoot them?
And then the Ronnie comes in. What's your opinion, Ronnie?
All right, there's merit to your prediction, because we've seen Walt. He's capable of ordering killings at betrayal. Yeah. That he ordered the hit on Jesse. That didn't go as planned.
On Gale.
Yeah, Gale as well. He wanted him dead because of the betrayal. But I just don't see this happening, because I believe deep down he still views those guys, the Gray Matter people, as family, and he doesn't do that to family.
I don't think... I disagree with you. He hates them. Don't you remember the
the
scene across the table from Gretchen?
There are roots there.
Well, remember, Walt killed Mike just because Mike said that his ego was too big and he wasn't as good as he thought he was. He killed Mike for that. These people went on national television and said Walt.
He didn't kill Mike just for that. He was trying to get rid of like.
Well, he realized 1 second
Mike's
after
like
killing
stupid
Mike,
supply chain.
he's like, "Wait a minute, I could have just gotten all this info from Lydia. I'm sorry, Mike." And Mike's just like, "Shut the fuck up, Walter."
Yeah, but that's not why. Yeah, but he killed him for that info, not just out of pride as a man.
I think he killed Mike out of pride, and he's gonna do this.
Dude, he obviously like the last words he said to him were, "I could have got this from Lydia." It's like that's why he killed him for the list of names and stuff like.
No, so you're saying that he would have killed Mike even if Mike hadn't insulted him?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he fully went there to do that.
Yeah, not because he got insulted, like that made it worse, but because he needed to cut off the loose end.
I think the insult was just
Giving too
kind
much
of
money away every
the
time.
last push he needed. He probably didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Like, look at how he shot the gun. It was the worst. Like, he shot him in like the leg or the
No, he hit the
kidneys
gut.
or whatever
Oh my God,
through the window of a car. He couldn't shoot him in the head. Like, he wasn't trying to kill him. And then he was, but he was just doing it badly. Like, he wasn't ready to kill him mentally, I don't think.
I suppose, but I still disagree with you, and we will find out on Sunday.
No, we won't, because
we
he's
will.
dead.
No, we'll find out about Gretchen and Company. On
Oh, okay, about
Sunday.
Gretchen and Company.
And that in turn will push my idea that Mike was killed for
he
that
didn't
reason.
kill Mike for
We're
simply
going
that
off topic. We're not. This is Mike's been
can't-
dead for so many episodes. Okay.
I just want to point this out with the Gray Matter folks. Walt's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He had the presence of mind to call back to Skylar and do that whole list of threats just because he knew it was going to be recorded. It was going to...
Or the calling the school through the fake Marine was really cool, too.
Yeah, that too. But he's a smart guy. He, as much as it stings to hear it on national television, that he had nothing to do with the origin of that company, he probably understands at some level. They have to say that. They are now associated with a meth kingpin. There is no including him in their company
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
true too. Like whether or not they even meant it, they have to say it out loud, right? Like if one of the founders of like McDonald's or whatever turned out to be like a super racist, like a hyper racist Nazi, they would have to be like, oh, you know what?
If he was
that
Jack.
guy was barely involved in McDonald's anyways. Like we didn't even know him. Like they would have to say something like that regardless.
He picked the color yellow for the symbol. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Hopefully he has more presence of mind than what you think, because you think he's extremely like irrationally motivated.
This
by
episode
revenge.
has been described as a bloodbath. Now, that could just mean the
But
final
we don't even
scene.
care. Like,
the
as
final
viewers,
scene.
we don't even care about the Gray Matter people.
Yeah, like I know you guys don't, but I do.
I know, but I'm pretty sure you'll be wrong about this.
All right, well we'll see. You know what? You will have to apologize to me and me
I
to
said I
you
would.
on the next episode.
Okay, but Ronnie and I think both think this.
You will both.
I
Apologize.
don't believe he's going to kill them.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
time. There's 75 minutes.
Will he even confront them?
Okay, no.
All
He
right.
doesn't have that luxury.
It's over. It's over. Like the relationship with them is over.
All right. So now, what is he actually?
We
going
don't
to
even
do,
know where they live.
According to you,
What is he going to do?
what is Walt going to do instead of what I think he's going to do?
Like I think just like from the very first episode or whatever, how he lost Gray Matter, that's been over for the course of the series. Like that book is written. He's not gonna go back and be like, "Look, I did it," and do a press release like I was involved in Gray. Like he still can write his own ending to the Heisenberg story. He thinks, right? Like although Saul and the universe thinks it's over, that one to him is not over. Like I think the Gray Matter book is closed. So I think he's going to be like, fuck you, like this isn't too like this isn't my second loss or whatever. The story's not over, and I think he's going to go get his money back to the Nazis and like try to eventually give it to Flynn and stuff like that, even though they don't want it. Like wants to make his family safe.
I think he's going to leave a final confession tape, like in the first episode where he left a confession tape. He's or he's going to find the one that they have. They took from Hank's house, and he'll actually give that to the police and all that.
Okay, well, this is I guess I'll get into the sort of hockey game thing then about what, because one of the things was that, like of what I've read, the hockey game that was on TV was while he was in the bar or whatever, that was also being played, I think, parallel to the Charlie Rose stuff, Charlie Rose interview. which they have an actual article on like the New Yorker about, or the Wall Street Journal. Anyways, that hockey game, if you listen to the people commentating it, they're saying certain things about the teams playing and the players playing, what kind of season they were having, the game and whatnot. And people on the internet, of course, just like how they found the pants in the desert, like people also isolated what game this was. And essentially there's this player, I forget his name, but he was playing for Denver, and they were playing like against Wisconsin or something. And they found when this player was playing for this team, for Denver. And it was like between 1994 and 1998. Now, if that's true, that makes me like need to go back and think about a few things, like what kind of cell phones were they using and whatnot, because like even that Hello Kitty one seemed like a BlackBerry or something to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, he apparently played between like 1994 and 1998, some time frame, and then they isolated like one of the other things the commentators said was this was his worst season ever, and you know they found that the guy's worst season ever playing was 1997 to 98, like the 97 to 98 season, statistically, because they were referring to the goalie when he was the worst in the league. And then they also isolated that they played Wisconsin or whomever that team was 2 times. And then they found out the scores for both games, and the 2-1 score heading into the third period only applied to one of these games. And in the game that they sort of isolated it all the way down to, Denver was losing 2-1 heading into the third, and then scored 6 goals to win 7-3 to win the game. And it was like a historic comeback in like this minor league or university level league hockey thing. And a lot of, I think, crazy like conspiracy theorists are saying that this might be an allusion to what's going to happen in the final act of the final episode. And this wouldn't be there without reason, obviously, which is something we know, but it might be too much of a jump. But what do you think about that?
I can see that like, being there for...
Potentially killing a bunch of, like, 6 people or something.
Yeah, I can see that potentially being, like, a foreshadowing of what's going to happen, that he's going to, like, prevail. But I don't think it means that the show is set in 1998. Like, I've seen them use, like, high-tech cell phones and stuff.
Yeah, and their cars and stuff like that.
And
like he was
nice
driving...
Chrysler.
His son was he drives a Chrysler 300, and his son drives like a Camaro or something, a red Camaro.
There's always the chance that it was a replayed game, but the message I believe you extracted from the game, I think that is a foreshadowing of the last episode. It is going to be a blowout comeback for Walter White. He's just going to get everybody on his list. No,
these are
not the Gray Matter people. They are not on his list.
These Nazis cannot shoot a gun, by the way. So
no.
They can't hit, like, they can't throw a rock in a pool kind of thing. Remember, they were shooting Hank from, like, 10 meters away, and they missed a billion times.
They're also using, like, the best shotgun in the world, the AA-12, I think that's what it's called.
I'm not sure.
It's literally a machine gun shotgun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's...
Just, like,
innovative
shells?
Like, new... You can like custom shells that like
hopefully it's
shoot
just
like grenades and stuff. Like that.
They all have Todd's gun, and they're all just like
Todd,
clicking with their shoulders.
The best on Imager or like all those websites, they have like the GIF of it. It's so funny.
Well, continue. So like, say for example, so then how would this story end? Because do you think, like, we still haven't solved why he's going back? Like, I just want to know. I guess we can't guess because we're not him, but of what we know about Walt in this situation, like, what's the specific motivation?
He doesn't want to go out without a bang.
Yeah?
He wants to save his family. I think that's the biggest thing on his list right now.
Because he is really worried about their money situations, too. Even though they don't want it, or Flynn doesn't want it. So
he was on the cusp of giving himself up.
Then does he have to kill the Nazis to save his family?
Well, the Nazis have his money, and...
Yes and no. Like,
you know what I mean?
Here's the thing.
It's not a direct connection. Like,
wait, what are you calling them? Are they actually Nazis?
They're neo.
Yeah, they are. They have like things swastikas on their neck.
They're just really bad people, so we're calling them Nazis.
They're just jerks. No, he essentially, like, he could assume, say for example, that the Nazis went on, and like if he's just trying to save his family, he could do that without killing the Nazis. Like, I know it's unrealistic, but like remember him and Jack shook hands like that they're square? Like, I don't want to know you're square. And it's like, technically he could assume that Jack thinks that they're square, so he's not going to come back to kill his family or anything. Even though it's unrealistic, but...
I don't think Jack
cares,
you know?
Like I think Jack
even if he
thinks
comes, we're in an enclosed compound, and like...
Jack's just trying to tie up loose ends.
Yeah.
He's not really trying to kill anyone as much as if he needs to tie up loose ends, he will.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think he cares about intimidating Heisenberg anymore.
Well, he feels like he's already won. He wanted to kill Jesse already.
He didn't even want to cook anymore. He said in that last episode.
He says they already hit the jackpot. Why keep going?
Yeah.
Well, I think we should change direction and talk a bit about Jesse right now.
Wait. So, just what is he gonna do then? Who's he gonna kill?
Walt.
Like who's Walt gonna kill?
Walt's going to kill Jack. Either somehow Lydia's gonna die. A lot of people, I'm sure you guys think it's with the rice.
Because she takes stevia a very specific white sweetener in her coffee.
He's just asking for it.
That's done after he's used the gun, because he's like covered in dirt and stuff like that.
My personal opinion on the ricin is that it's still for himself.
Anyways.
Yeah,
continue.
so that's basically how it's gonna end.
So he's just gonna kill all of them, like, woo! And then he's gonna kill Lydia, like, yay! And then what happens?
Does he kill Jesse?
Where's Jesse? Where's his family? Where's Brock?
Yeah, exactly. This is where Jesse comes in. He will free Jesse. I'll stick to my original idea from the previous podcast that he will give Jesse the option of killing Walt. Walt will go to Jesse and say, "Here's the ricin. You can use it against me or not."
Yeah, it's true. It could be a red herring with the sweetener too, right?
He could also give Jesse the location of his $11 million, because Jesse, I want to believe that Walt's gonna forgive him, and Jesse is the closest thing at the moment that he could ever get again of having a family member, someone to care about him.
Yeah. So then what happens with the White family? Or the Lamberts?
The Lamberts.
That's a good question.
Do they get killed? Because I found out the other day that Holly is the name of Vince Gilligan's daughter. So are the kids gonna get killed?
I don't
think so. People love RJ Mitty.
They love Walt Jr.
So I'm not sure, but if it is a bloodbath, more people have to die than just Nazis.
Lydia. Oh, Jesse is the one who's going to kill Todd. That's not even questionable at this point. I'm assuming. Does anyone disagree?
No,
Okay,
that'll be awesome.
It's going to be like the Walking Dead style. You guys watch Walking Dead?
Yeah.
It's going to be when what's his name? The younger brother and Merle, yeah. Where he jumps on his face and stabs him 50 times in the face. It's gonna be like that for Jesse to Todd.
Yeah. Like the Fight Club when he's punching out Angel Face.
Yeah. That's that ending, and I think the final kind of ending is Jesse rides off into the sunset to get the 11 million.
Do you think Skyler
and Walt's just chilling in a diner?
Skyler and Marie alive?
There's no purpose in killing Marie, and I don't think they'll have time to kill Marie.
I would like them to kill Marie, but
Ronnie
that's just me.
It's just bloodbath, you guys.
Yeah.
Bloodbath. If all of us saw all the neo-Nazis die over the course of 10 minutes, we're not going to be what a bloodbath. Because we kind of expected that. For it to be a bloodbath that really gets us going, which Breaking Bad's known for, some unexpected deaths have to occur, right? Or something bigger than characters who we haven't seen for more than 5 episodes.
It's not who dies, but how they're gonna die. That's what's kind of getting me going.
I guess, but this show doesn't do explosions that much or anything.
Gus's face.
Yeah, one
hashtag Gus's face.
Yeah, one explosion. And even that wasn't a bloodbath. The dude had most of his face left.
Actually, in the back scene, you see some guy's legs on the ceiling fan and shit like that.
Oh, really?
It was messed up.
Still didn't look like a bloodbath to me. It looked like an explosion. So I'm saying tons of bullets, tons of blood, tons of death. Even in their shootout.
So what you're hoping for is a shocking death, a main character dying.
Yeah, I don't think they would say bloodbath if the people we expected to die would die.
Well, it's actually, you know what's interesting? There's earlier in this season. Walt Jr. is watching Scarface, and Walt passes by and kind of mentions, everyone dies in this, don't they?
Yeah, which is done on purpose too.
But I don't see Walt going back and causing the death of his entire family.
And Walt's different than Scarface.
Yeah.
I don't know, I never saw Scarface.
For shame.
Scarface is the personality of Heisenberg, like that sort of like the Money Mayweather, like the Floyd Mayweather type of personality. It's kind of like that, but like Walt himself doesn't have that. Maybe if he's fully transferred over to Heisenberg, then whatever.
Yeah, I think the switch got turned on.
Okay, so so you think the family's fine, Jesse's going to kill Todd, bloodbath will ensue of just the Nazis versus Jesse and
my personal
Walt.
opinion, the gray matter people.
And the gray matter people.
Yeah.
That would add to a bloodbath, I definitely suppose. Yeah. And then the White family and Marie and whatnot, you're assuming are fine.
I think those
And Brock's just in child protective services, child like custody or whatever. People say like Jesse's gonna get to adopt Brock. No chance they would give
like, he would have
Brock
to
a drug like a known drug addict and drug dealer.
who's wanted.
Yeah, like no chance there. But he might be able to like say everyone dies but Holly, and then he can grab Holly and go find the $11 million and escape.
Jesse gets Holly?
That's
interesting.
That's something I think of. I just think Holly's for sure alive. Like,
There's always a chance that Jesse might try to handle the Brock's case kind of like the way Mike did, kind of from a distance, just keep feeding money and watching from a distance and wanting from a distance. We're not really able to do a whole lot.
It didn't work for Mike though, right? Like it kept getting intercepted by, even though they would put it in those safety deposit boxes, like the government took it all away, I think.
That wouldn't stop him though.
Yeah, true. He's more of a throw it out the car kind of guy.
Yeah.
That was so dumb.
Anyways, so what else did you want? Like, did you want to talk about Todd specifically or Jesse specifically?
Well,
I think
one
we've
thing.
mostly covered.
Go
I'm
ahead.
really, really hoping, like I said, that Marie dies, and I'm really hoping that
Just because she's
Walt-
annoying?
yes, and I don't
Yeah,
like
but
the color
who-
purple.
There's many annoying people in your lives, and I hope you don't wish for the same thing.
Like, the only person to kill Marie at this point would be Walt.
I think that's exactly how it
What?
might go down, and I don't think it'll be on purpose though. I
Okay.
feel like
Because this is a bloodbath.
Do you remember how Walt enlisted Hector to help blow up Gus?
Yeah.
There may be something like that coming up with
Oh.
Marie.
Enlisting
you know?
Marie. I think
Enlisting
like-
Marie as bait in some sense, perhaps.
Yeah, just like strapping a bomb to her and blowing her up. or
Well,
whatever
I wouldn't
for
say
it.
strap a bomb.
I know, but just like
I believe that
kamikaze style.
You know, I don't think he's gonna walk into the Nazi compound, guns blazing.
I don't think
single gun battle.
Marie is too rational to help Walt. Like, she thinks Walt killed Hank.
Well,
And I don't think...
No. She thinks Hank's still alive, right?
No, she does. No, she...
They were in the car looking for him.
No,
the guy's
like,
like, I'm gonna find her. Like,
no, but do you see her
stupid as hell.
face? Like, she was like, she knows the truth.
Yeah.
She
So
knows.
I don't even know why
But
they're
she's
doing
in
that
denial.
search though. Yeah.
No, like they have to search the police. They can't say,
Exactly.
oh, he said he's dead. Okay, he's dead. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
So, final wrap-up?
Sure. Yeah. It's, again, 26 minutes or so.
Jesus. It's
Okay.
not that we don't want to make this podcast longer. It's just that we
Okay,
don't have enough time.
So we'll just go in a small triangle or a small circle of just like make predictions really quick again.
Starting with
just recap.
Ronnie.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just went.
Okay, so I'll
okay.
go then. Okay, so Walt's going back, gonna kill the Nazis. I think someone in his family's gonna die, and I think Marie, like as Ronnie said, will most likely die in some sort of kamikaze way. Jesse will live, potentially get to take Holly and the $11 million or whatever, even though Jesse doesn't want the money. And even though Holly doesn't even know Walter White at all, pretty much.
That's actually so sad. This episode was so sad.
Yeah.
My final prediction is he takes care of the gray matter people. Goes. I don't think he'll ever see his family.
Oh, and I think Walt dies, by the way.
Oh.
I think Jesse kills Walt.
All right. He takes care of the gray matter people. I don't think he makes a stop to Skylar or anything. He's never gonna see them again. Somehow tricks the neo-Nazis. He can't just one on against all of them take them on. He's gonna use some kind of deception. He's gonna use science.
He always does use deception or science really well.
Yeah, combination of the two.
Yeah.
Jesse kills Todd in brutal fashion, like head blown off, head chopped off, something gruesome. Walt asks Jesse if he would like to kill him, and I think Walt's death might even be not up in the air, but like they'll inception it, you know? If you've seen Inception, yeah, how like the spinning dreidel thing.
Oh yeah, sort of like the movie The Graduate or whatever, where it's like it happens, or you're led to believe what's going to happen, and the story kind of continues on even though the movie ends.
Sort of, yeah. And Jesse goes off in the distance because Walt told him where his money is, and he'll live that life that he could have had a couple months earlier in the show, but chose not to like just mess with Walt.
Yeah, your predictions gave me a couple thoughts I'm gonna add after.
Well, like I said, I am calling for Marie's head here, and I believe she is going to be an integral part of Walt's revenge against Jack's crew.
Yeah, she's gonna, I think, as you said, like, she's gonna kind of burst into craziness. She was way too self-contained when she found out he died and just made that face, and then the last episode just really somber. Like, I think, something's gonna awaken.
She's, well, like you guys pointed out, he uses deception and science really well, and I believe Marie is going to be the deception here that he uses to draw out the Nazis. I don't know how.
Yeah, because they don't even know where they are.
Maybe announce in some way that she has some evidence pointing towards them, and that will draw them out. But like I said, I can't see him walking into that compound alone.
So I think it'll be, as you said, super packed episode, but yeah, Ronnie's theory about Marie is a really smart one, I think. Because she's the only other asset he'd be willing to use to persuade them in.
It falls into the narrative that Marie is useless, so I agree with this.
And Hugh will probably lost 200 pounds because he hasn't left that room or eaten anything. But like, I do think, because whenever he tries to get a hitman or tries to like arrange for Jesse to kill someone or get help of someone, it's always his immediate circle. And they're not going to introduce a new character now, right?
Yeah.
So who are his assets
Marie.
here?
Yeah.
It's Marie, it's his own family, possibly. But Saul said no way. Jesse's gone, so he has no one else.
Yeah.
And,
Marie's the only motivated one now.
Yeah.
Ending this
'cause
podcast on Marie. Shameful. Shame on us.
Hey,
Shame.
we'll see you guys on Monday.
I'm hoping she pulls it off, and
It would be cool.
But I still want her to die. I want that purple carpet to be red by the end.
I want her to die with dignity. Yes.
Yeah, because it's true. Of what I've read of some other guys. Sorry, I know we're just wrapping up, but they say like it's too obvious that her house is always all purple all the time. Like, it's unlikely it'll end up that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they think that Marie's life being destroyed, like the house being destroyed or all the purple being destroyed, sort of a metaphor for her life being destroyed. And so I do think that theory, I said, like, they'll do something to call them out and get them to, like, I think something's going to go down at Hank's old place. And all the purple and stuff will end up, like, super, super crazy, covered in blood.
Be like red wedding shit right there.
I do think something like that, but that's...
Well, I'm just hoping.
Yeah, and Ronnie's hoping, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
And then I think after this, the guys are going to start going into Thrones and a lot of the other good
Well,
stuff.
I think we'll do one final breaking
Oh,
down.
yeah, you're right, of course.
Just like a general like review of the final episode and how awesome.
And apologies will be dealt out.
Apologies will be dealt out, sirs.
Okay, so thanks for listening.
Peace.
See ya.